hell the horses can stare at you and make you feel guilty for nothing. Tummies are fed, they got a big place to run around, and they're looking at you like they're bored and hard done by. I mean, that's just how the human emotion picks it up as, right? Anyways, lots going on. A lot has come in. A lot has been emailed to me lately. And I think I explained to everyone clearly before, if you have sent sound recordings or video recordings, and I open it up on my phone, I don't know why, when I click on it to download it or play it, it doesn't do anything. It just makes the broken play button sign in the middle of the screen. I can't do anything to it. But the unfortunate thing about that is then that email is marked as opened previously. So when I go back into my email on the big computer in the house, it's easily missed. And I don't go back and find that again because I can download and open up the sounds of the videos on the big computer in the house. Anyway, that's what I just did this morning for about an hour. I was going through all the inboxes on my big computer and deleting a bunch of crap mail and trying to make space because those emails are getting loaded. And I came across a handful of audio and video submissions from all of you that I need to share with the rest of the people through this channel, right? So I will do a few of those with this video. And what else? That's about it. I got a lot of Sasquatch shares I want to get out. Lots of voices I got to get out, heard. I got a bunch of salmon I have to smoke today. So that keeps me here, doing things here while I smoke the fish. I got the shop cleaned out for the electricians to come in and give me electricity and light back so I can get this thing going back in here. I got a load of lumber for my barn. I got to put more work in there. It's a blizzard right now, again, as usual. And but life's rolling right along. Fishing, it's not going to happen. I might escape. I might go just up the road behind the house here and take a few casts in that pool and see if I might snag one of those steelhead this afternoon, possibly. I'm doing a lot of work to help Sarah get her cooking YouTube channel launched. She's excited and nervous as hell, but it's a lot of fun, and it's very simple. I think it's simple. I mean, she's not an executive chef or anything like that, but she knows how to cook a great meal. And we got lots of natural, good ingredients that we've acquired. Everything is going to be cooked in there, from venison, elk, moose, bison, beef, fish, halibut, salmon. You name it, it's going to be on there. And it's very quick and easy and very healthy and frickin' good. So she decided to go for it. Her Instagram account's already launched for her Cook It. It's called Cook It, Eat It. And I will put a link to her YouTube channel in the descriptions below. So if you're interested, you want to support her channel, have a look, check it out, subscribe to it, whatever you want. And but there it is. She's going live. By the time you watch this part of this video, her channel went live. She's pretty nervous. It's kind of fun watching people be nervous. What else? Recently, you all know that a lot of people send me things that are private, and I hold true to my word, and I do not share what people send me and ask me not to share. Anything from names to videos to photographs, whatever. If you send something to me and ask me not to share it, I'm not going to share it. And a lot of small handful of people out there have been angry at me for that. And that is very surprising, because anybody who gets angry at that statement basically admits to the world that their word means shit. You can't justify it. I don't give a shit. I mean, obviously, if it's a matter of life or death, then yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But if somebody's going to share with you a video clip of something or a photograph or what happened at their work, where they work, and they can't get fired yet, and they don't want me to share publicly, well, you have to give them your word and stick by it. All right. But what I will share with you guys right now is, just so you know, there are some very substantial video clips out there of these beings. They are. I've seen them. They've been said to me. I've been asked not to share due to various reasons. But like I mentioned to one of the recent share is, you know, once it's said, if I get a hold of it, somebody else has a hold of it. It's only a matter of time until the videos get known. But I'll guarantee you, I'm not going to be the guy that crosses the line and breaks my word of privacy when somebody asks me to. But I would like to share with you guys, just so you guys know, there are some very substantial video clips out there of these beings. I'm quite confident they will be made public, I'm sure. I have a feeling this channel might be the choice when it comes down to it. If it is, it is. It isn't, it isn't. Do I really get upset and worked up about it? Nope. Why? Because I don't need subscriber numbers to blow up. I don't need people to be attracted to this channel. I have seen these things. Once you've seen these things, video and photo don't really matter on average. A lot of people have seen these things disagree, and I get it. That's fine. I'm just saying, for me, I don't give a shit. I've seen them. So I'm jumping way ahead now. I'm jumping ahead as they are a known species. I'm jumping ahead and I want to find out why we're being lied to. And I'm jumping ahead and making it all about you, who need to be heard and need to get this shit off your chest, need your self-respect back, your respect back, and be assured you aren't crazy. That's my motive, just to be clear, okay? But I guess maybe I wanted to give those who do want to see video photo evidence, just so you know, I guess I probably want to put this out there to assure you that it does exist. It does exist. I've seen it. All right? And I am 100% confident it's only a matter of time until it comes out, and you'll see it too. But just let it be known. It exists. The video evidence exists. Okay? And it's coming. Now, moving right along, I put out an email, put out a request in the past video for the railway workers to email me. They did. And I'll get to that first right away while it's fresh in the mind. Listen to this one. Photo/video I sent you. Hi Steve, my name is Shane Nastrom. I was just watching some of your other videos on sheep hunting, as I am an avid sheep hunter as well, as I have guided for many years as yourself. I came across your new episode with the pics and video I sent through Facebook Messenger. That's where I got it? Holy shit, that's crazy, considering I go on there about once in a million years. I watched the episode and seen that you didn't get any of the info I sent with the picture, and you asked me to email back, so here it is. Perfect, thanks man. I do work for the railway, spending a ton of time off the beaten path, as well as my hundreds of adventures through the Yukon and BC guiding big game hunters. This occasion, I was just off shift from work and went out for a hunt near my home on Vancouver Island, about 40 kilometers west towards Gold River. I was up this one spot about 3 days previous, just as we got the first snowfall of the year. I put on a ton of miles, walking bluffs and game trails, scouting and setting cameras. I went back there days later as I stayed up the road to my spot. As I stayed up the road, probably meant as you went up the road, to my spot. I took note that no one had been up that way since me, the last time. Felt pretty lucky at this point. As I gained elevation around 5,100 feet, the snow built up more and more. Perfect. As I came up to the last point of the mountain in which I could access by truck, I noticed tracks, big ones. I had to get out and investigate. I could not believe what I was seeing. In HD, an old friend with me who happened to be a lifetime logger, I asked him his thoughts. His explanation to me was, do you really need to ask? It's the big guy. As I've never seen anything like this ever, in all my life in the bush, I knew I was looking at something special. These tracks came out of the bush, walked down the road around 200 yards and right back in. I was able to follow them for around 300 yards until I reached the moss, and it got really hard to stay on the trail. The trail led me to a set of bluffs I would need rope to climb. Steve, I stand about 6'2", and there is no way in hell I could match these tracks stride for stride. And as you can see in the video, I have size 12 rubber boot. What of these tracks away to me as I can clear? There's a couple spell typos in here. I'm just going to read it word for word. What have these tracks away to me is I could clearly see in the imprint of toes, not claws but toes. I've guided many bears and taken several myself, so anyone who says these are bear tracks can F off. I know what I saw. Thanks for sharing my photos. I've had to send them to you through Messenger again as the files are too big to send through my email. There they are again. Okay, man. Oh yeah, you can see the toes in that. I'll share these again. I think we shared them already. Okay, so just so you know, I was guiding out of, oh my God, where was I? Cayucit, guiding out of Cayucit. I'm sure you know how to get there, right? Logging road, then boat. I talked to a few native guides from Murphy's there. We had a fire one night at the beach, and they were telling me numerous stories all around that zone. Cayucit, Tassis, Zabalis, everywhere. And the friend of mine I was guiding for, who owned the lodge, he was taking people up a river for late season coho, between Cayucit and the boat ramp at the Logging Road head, up that inlet and then up a river right in that direction there. And they were roared at. Serious vocalization. And the next day I went back and they all got the hell out of there. The next day I went back again and there was an upside down log with huge roots pumped right into the middle of the pool that they were fishing for coho in the day before. It was driven down into the middle of the pool, standing straight up and down the next day. They all took off again. Then I believe I shared the text messages on this channel later on, a handful of months later. My buddy, his native fishing guides were, quote, pit lamping for elk, and that would have been west of Gold River. And they're out of the truck with the spotlight shining on a herd of elk up the slope, and a huge Sasquatch was in the alders right in front of them, like 50 yards away, blowing a gasket, beating on the trees and roaring at them. His eyes were glowing back at them in the lights, or maybe they're glowing them by themselves, I don't know. It scared the living shit out of them, and they text him right away, and he texted me right away. So I was basically getting the text within 24 hours of that going down. Just so you know, that's what I do know firsthand of what's going on around there. And then as well, Campbell River, everywhere. Campbell River's been a hotbed. Comox Lake, Forbidden Plateau. Forbidden Plateau is named directly due to these beings. Mount Washington, there's been Strathcona Park. Dr. John Bendenegel found prints at Strathcona, heard them screaming there. You know where the highway goes, climbs up high, just past Sayward. You know, you go past Sayward, past the gas stop, and the highway starts climbing at the top. Another couple had one of these things run across the highway in front of them at the top of the hill, and they said it looked at them like it wanted to kill them. And that sucker was heading, I guess it'd be west from that direction, right? I've hunted in there actually for Roosevelt up, helped a buddy get a big bull in there. And it is kind of a little spooky in there, for sure. I could feel a little bit of a spook in there, without a doubt. But what I'm saying is, there is no shortage on the island, man. I got shit going on right behind the house. So, is what it is. And you being a present or past hunting guide, I will guarantee you look people in the eye and ask if they've seen anything odd in the woods they can't explain, or footprints, they're going to spill. If you start the conversation out by going, hey man, you ever seen a Bigfoot? Nobody's going to answer to that. Very rarely. One more quick note too, another friend of mine who lives in Courtenay, very A-type hunter, lifelong hunter, houndsman, and they were hunting near Comox Lake. Big timber, huge steep bluffs, came across a set of prints. Their other buddy was on a walkie-talkie across the mountain on another spot. He came across massive prints, exact same time, snowing like it is now, fresh prints. And they started following the smaller prints that they saw, very clear barefoot prints, but smaller than their own boots, and going straight up the mountain. And just like you mentioned, they said that the prints went straight into steep rock bluffs with snow and ice on them, and there is no way they could have went where those prints went without dying and falling off the cliff. And those suckers went straight up there like nothing in the bare feet. And so did the other friend on the radio who saw the other prints, which were huge. He just shit himself and said, I'm out of here. See you at the truck. So there you go. There's a quick blurb of what I can share with you around the area that you saw those prints. Okay? It's very common around there. It's very common on the whole frickin' island. It's very common everywhere. But thanks for sending that in, man. Glad you did, so we could give everybody the heads up on what went down. All right, what do we got here? Montana Woodwalker. Hello, Steve. First of all, I would like to thank you for this platform. Thank you for the time you take out of your busy schedule to help the knowledge spread. I also want to say I'm terribly sorry if the punctuation isn't the best. I'm far from a writer and never did so well in English class. Sorry about Mr. Macaroni. Thanks for the kind words. Okay, let me get into the encounter. My fiance Andrew and I were way up Blank Creek, leaving exact location out. Up Big Sky Canyon outside of Bozeman, Montana. This was August 13th, 2021. Just give your listeners an idea of how rural this place is. Once you turn up the canyon road, it's approximately 23 miles straight up a dirt road that is only passable with 4x4. Once we made it to the top of the dirt road, as far as we could make it, so we had to get out and walk the rest of the way to the trailhead. The road was just that bad. By the time we reached the trailhead, it was 11 a.m., August 13th, about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. We walked the 6 miles and made it to the first lake when we first had a sensation of being watched. Just a quick side note, both Andrew and myself, Melissa, were both born and raised in Montana and are both avid hunter and outdoors men and women. This is a very comfortable and natural place for both of us. We have never felt uncomfortable in the woods or in nature. This is like home to us both. But this day became different. Upon arriving at the first lake, something was not right. Andrew was beside himself, acting a little paranoid. At the same time, I told him I felt very uncomfortable for some reason. He made the call that we were not going to continue to the second lake and stay like we had planned. I was shocked, but felt a big relief. He said, "It's not right here." Mind you, at the same exact time, I myself was feeling awful and scared and uncomfortable. Just not wanting to say anything since it was his birthday we were supposed to be spending at this remote lake. We turned around after drinking some water and eating half a sandwich and started to head back down the trail. It was then, halfway down the trail, that we could hear what sounded like steps when we stepped. I started to almost lose complete control of all my senses, meaning time didn't line up. Our directions didn't line up. And it was as if we were being told to hurry up and go. We both stopped at the exact same time, and Andrew drew his gun while I pulled out my phone. Something told me, if you want to see, then just take a look. I'm not joking. This went through my head. I cannot explain it. At that moment, I took a picture of where we both heard movement, and we continued back on our walk down the mountain, both uncomfortable and trying to keep our wits about what and where we were. Andrew still having his gun drawn at this point. We continued down the trail to our vehicle at a slower than normal pace, but still having the feeling that we were being followed the whole time. I can't decide the feeling and fear. I can't decide. It must have meant I can't describe the feeling and fear we both felt as we continued down to our vehicle. After arriving to the vehicle while Andrew was unpacking our backpacks, something told me to look through my picture that I had taken on the trail. This is also very confusing to us. We cannot explain about 2 hours of lost time. But I'll attach the photos and the screenshots of the zoomed in picture. It's all the same picture. I and Andrew were at complete loss of words. It's completely not normal or okay with us, as we have been in these woods for years. I did send these pictures to Scott Carpenter and asked him if he could analyze them and look at them. He replied to me saying it was definitely humanoid and looks like a Sasquatch. Beyond any doubt, this was not a case of pareidolia, where shadows or face or something were. There's the picture, there's the face, there's the nose. Got it. See it. Kind of odd, isn't it? Almost. Yeah. There's the cheek, and there it is. There's another photo. I told Andrew I was never going back out of the woods again. It has scared me so bad. He told me the only way to get over your fear is to understand they are there, and that we have to share their land with them. I would tell you without a doubt, it took me some time to feel okay with going back out into the backcountry again. I know they are there now after what Andrew and I have experienced, but it has changed us both. Thank you, Steve, for all you do. Melissa and Andrew. I've attached the picture I took from my iPhone, the original, and zoomed into the original. Melissa McKenzie. Sorry, horses are staring off into the timber. It's a natural reaction to see how after years of guiding, every time you see all the horses standing staring, you automatically look too. You're part of the herd. Probably a deer in there. But anyway, Melissa, I'm sure if you've sifted through a bunch of these videos on this YouTube channel, you know now you're not alone. And so many people who have been lifelong outdoors people or own the same tract of land for the 2-3 generations or whatever, never seen a thing, never heard a thing, never believed it, thought people were nuts, and all of a sudden, boom, there's one standing there looking at them. And that, I think, possibly has a bigger impact on people who are absolutely familiar with where they are, who are absolutely familiar with going in the woods as you are, as I was at the time when I seen that thing the first time. And it is a bit much to handle and take in, isn't it? It's pretty bizarre, isn't it? I'll guarantee you there's tens of thousands of people watching this video shaking their head up and down agreeing right now, going, "You damn right." Right? But hopefully you do keep on going out there. Don't quit. And it's not their woods, it's our woods. There's no border on this planet. It's all of ours. We're all on the planet together. Okay? And never feel guilt for being in the forest anywhere, ever. This is your home, it's our home, it's their home. We're all here together. We just got to stop shooting each other on sight because we look scary. Right? Maybe, possibly. But go with your guts, though, Melissa. If it doesn't feel right for you to go outside, don't go. If something tells you that it's not right for you to go back in the forest, don't go. You listen to your stomach. But if you're just feeling nervous like anybody else, like me too, whatever, suck it up, take baby steps, and listen to your gut instincts. Because don't forget, you guys came home that day, right? And I'm sure you've listened to these videos quite a bit. It's 100% for sure they outclass the living shit out of us. They want our ass, they're gonna take it and have at it. So, and that, you know what, that also goes for insider homes too. I mentioned that a few months back. I remember thinking about it, thinking, man, you imagine if one of these things snapped, if one of these beings was in a rural community, any community, and snapped and decided it wanted to go see how many human beings it could kill in one night, you imagine what that death toll would be? They'd go right through the wall of any house and start popping heads like pimples in seconds, house to house to house to house, one being. But they don't, right? So take note of that, they don't. But there is other shit, there is other crazy, scary shit going on the planet, that's a fact, that doesn't necessarily include these beings, right? That's a whole nother topic. Anyway, thanks for sending that in. I'm glad you made it out of there all right. And I am super, super glad if you keep going back out there too, right? Just don't go against your gut instincts. Ever. Alright, what do we got? One more. Gotta get my ass in gear. Hair-raising hunting walk is the title of this one. Hello, Steve. How are you, my friend? Good. We've never met yet, face to face. Though for a strange feeling I get every time I watch one of your videos, it's like I have known you for most of my life. Perhaps it's because we have much in common. We both hunt and fish and like the outdoors, and don't have use for people's bullshit when it comes our way. Awesome. I'm certainly with you on that. I'll comment on one particular video I watched regarding the hunter from Mexico you guided on the goat and sheep hunt. That was a lengthy comment, but if you have read it or not, it may express a little something of myself and a bit about my life experiences. No, I wouldn't have read it. Sorry, man. All in terms of what's non-life threatening by the actions we take and moving forward without pushing the panic button in a situation many, many miles back in the woods. We make the right decision without any thought of negative impact by using our common sense, judgment that, as hunters, deems us a very hardy group of highly skilled, knowledgeable people. We all have common stories, and yours was, as I say, was not much different than mine. Moving on to the story, I want to share with you and everyone else who has the pleasure, or not, but are fascinated, intrigued by the stories read through the emails you receive. Here is a time when the hair on the back of my neck wasn't enough of a warning signal, but something that I experienced while on a hunt that had my 100% attention and curiosity as to what is out there. It was an early fall day on a mule deer hunt with a few hunting friends of mine. One of those who I mentioned in my comments on another of your videos, were up in a well-known area of BC, notorious to many sightings and encounters to what is known as the Sasquatch. I've hunted in this area quite extensively in the early days of many trips into the outdoors and in pursuit of an animal to harvest for sustenance to fill my freezer. It was on a particular walk through a watershed, a walk up an overgrown logging road that took me through all aspects of a wooded forest that put every hair on my body up in the air. I had my 30-06 in hand and my shotgun over my shoulder with me, so I wasn't in any situation that called for a little extra firepower should I run out of ammo with, say, a bear or any other animals. Not that I'm a bad shot, just as safety backup. This particular logging road had caught my eye numerous times while traveling north up the main line of Harrison Lake. Ooh, oh, that neighborhood. The Morris Valley Road was a spur road that went northwest off the main line called Cartwell Creek Forest Service Road. There's a sign that marks the creek as you cross over it on the main line. It's on a slow bend in the road and almost has the real eerie feeling about it just driving by the turnoff. I was about to walk up. This always had the hair on my neck stand up every time I'd driven by it. I really didn't know why this went on, and curiosity had gotten the best of my fascination of what the F's up this road I needed to experience. Now, I don't know what your knowledge is in this area or even on the particular creek and road I was about to walk up, but this walk had me almost scared shitless before I even took one step up this road. I even stopped dead in my tracks at the start of it, looking into the dark, almost tunnel-like forest right at the start, setting off the internal instinctual alarm that told me either I'm crazy or just plain crazy as to why I wanted to go up this damn road alone on foot, but at least I had firepower. I had plenty enough shells, not only in the odd 6 and shotgun, but as well in my pockets for backup. I don't know why I did this and didn't ever question it. Maybe it was just hunter instinct and something were the action necessary. Whatever the case, it started in through the overgrown entry onto a road that was so eerie every single step of the way for me. I wasn't sure what it was, but something was watching my every damn step, and I mean every step. The hairs on my body just stood up as I typed this now, just like they did back then. It's almost 2022, and when I was on this road, it was back in late 1990, roughly so, 30 years later, and this road still creeps me out. There's something of spiritual significance for my belief is out there. Wow. It really made me stop typing. I had to stop typing and come back to now. I was right there as I was actually typing this out to where I had to stop my story and sit back and catch my breath, settle down, focus on continuing my story. What the heck? My laptop froze just now, right in mid-sentence of last on the word story. Okay, now this really is effing creepy. My laptop is running like it's way too hot and has never been like this at all. I'm going to stop here and we'll send this to you as an unfinished story for now. This is way too weird and creepy for me, holy shit. Endo story. Alright, well that was a different one, especially the ending. Am I familiar with that zone? I was guiding bears down towards Harrison, but I came from Pemberton route, Mount Currie. Port Douglas, I think is the farthest I went down. Both sides of the valley. Creepier than shit down there, without a doubt. 110% creepy all around that area down there. It's a hotbed. It's a serious hotbed. If you start moving back up the lake, up the river, you'll get to Twin One. Check it out. Google up Twin One. That place has had numerous sightings. I've been in there. I knew of a group of 8 people that were in there and had branches and shit getting completely demolished and the timber all the way around them in the dark and a fire up there. Had a buddy of mine just over the height of land at the head of Twin One. They're building a tour ski cabin in there. Wanted to get some water. 8 foot tall, charcoal gray one standing there looking at him. Friend of mine. If I had to, I could rattle off, I'll bet at least 40 or 50 sightings from a general area that I know of. People who I have spoken to in the past, so there you go. Very popular taxidermist that you may know of from Vancouver, Langley. They're closing shop they're about to close shop actually. I have two generations of taxidermists. Well, one of the brothers, I'll keep his name private, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. We've been fishing with each other a lot, friends, and he said that he was up in that area, sounded basically about the same area where you described. And he said that they were up on a switchback and they could hear this weird moaning, whining sound over the bank in the thick shit. It's been logged previously. And they started lobbing rocks in there to see if they could get whatever it was to flush out, and the screams just started getting louder and louder, like he was really shitting himself. And they said there's no way it was a bear or a cat. No way. And I'll never forget he told me that story. And they never went in the bush to go see what was making the sound either. Go figure. But anyway, I think what I will do is I'm going to add on to the end of this video. Oh man, I'm away from the computer. There's an 18-year-old young man hunter who sent us a video of him hunting alone, I believe, and he's worried that nobody would believe him because of his age. There's no age limits here, my man. And I will share the video that you sent me. Do I know what that sound is? Nope. No, I don't. And my advice to you would be to, as I tell everybody, go with your gut instincts, man, all right? Go with your gut instincts. If you feel the slightest bit of nervousness when you're hunting there, possibly try not to go alone. But if you're going to go alone, I mean, I've always gone alone since I was 12. 13, I've gone alone. So I can't really tell people not to do it. But if you persist in going hunting there by yourself, man, you go with your gut instincts, all right? If you feel too nervous, something doesn't feel right, you get the hell out of there and get home, all right? Make sure you do that if you're going to keep on going there. And I'll share the video that you sent with me. And fortunately, I can't share the email because I don't have it. Maybe I do. No, I don't have the internet right here. I can't even look it up on my phone. Shit. All right, so there you go. I'll leave that with you guys. This video that this young man sent in from Ohio, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then tomorrow I will continue to share more videos and more audios that have been emailed into us to share with all of you through me, all right? And also, I will put a link to the Cook and Eat It channel. Sarah's launching today. She's nervous. She's very nervous. It's kind of funny. Fun, whatever. But she's going to have a lot more coming to hit that channel. It's brand new. And if you are interested or curious or want to support her, well, I'll put the link in the comment section below. Comment section, video description, whatever. All right? Okay, I got to get going to smoking some fish, get my ass in gear, get some work done so that I can go fishing. Talk to you guys shortly.